The Pepsodent Show, presenting A Date with Judy.
Hello?
Hello, Judy. Can I have a date with you?
Will you call for me in a taxi?
Yes.
Will you bring me a big box of candy?
Yes.
And orchids?
Yes.
Then I can't go out with you.
Why not?
My mother won't let me go out with boys I don't know.
You have a date with Judy, chaperoned by Pepsodent. But first, I'd like to take just a few seconds to tell you what several important testing laboratories took many months to establish as undeniable fact. When these laboratories had satisfied themselves by making all sorts of tests on all sorts of tooth powders, here's the conclusion they reached. Pepsodent tooth powder has the power to produce a luster on teeth twice as bright as the average of all other leading brands. Briefly, here's what this means. You can expect Pepsodent tooth powder to make your teeth twice as bright as you see them now. And that's something it won't take you long to find out. Try Pepsodent tooth powder and see. Well, it's a wonderful summer evening, but Judy doesn't feel wonderful. Her current heartthrob, Norman, has taken her to a movie, but wiggled out of taking her to Scully's for a super-duper Sunday. Now it's only 10 p.m., and he's brought her home already. They pause on the front porch.
Well, good night, Judy.
Good night? You mean now?
Well, it's 10 o'clock, and besides, I got to get up early tomorrow.
Norman, when I first met you 3 weeks ago, you used to think of nothing but staying up till 1 or 2 o'clock, and now...
I guess I was younger then.
Norman, has something come between us?
Well, no, I'm just sleepy, Judy.
Well, you never used to get sleepy when we first started going out with each other.
Well, the trouble is, I've stayed out so late with you every night that my constitution is sort of breaking down. Well, good night, Judy.
Do you really mean it?
Mean what?
Good night.
Yeah, I have to go.
All right. Go ahead and go home. But just for that, I won't give you a date tomorrow night.
Oh, okay. I'll go to bed early tomorrow night. Oh, good night.
Oh, nausea.
Judy, is that you?
Yes, Father. This is me. I.
Well, I'm glad to see you home so early. About time you realized your constitution required a little sleep.
Will everybody please stop talking about constitutions all the time?
Who talks about constitutions all the time?
Everybody does, all the time.
Is anything bothering you, dear?
Not a thing, Mother. Not one easy thing. Except every other girl in town trying to lure Norman away from me.
Every other girl in town, Judy?
Well, nearly everyone. Anyhow, Ruth.
The old mortal enemy.
She's utterly scrupulous. I know she lured Norman into a date last night. I had it from a reliable source. And now tonight he's too tired to stay up any later than 10 o'clock.
She is scrupuleless.
Say, who's been tearing my newspaper limb from limb?
I guess I did. I was reading it.
You were reading a newspaper? Why, Judy, there's no end to your reform.
Hi, everybody. You know the news?
How can I know the news with my newspaper in a condition like this?
I'm at a radio quiz show.
How very juvenile.
Juvenile? You know what show this is? It's Put Up or Shut Up.
Well, I suggest you shut up, Randolph, before you make a goop out of yourself in public.
I imagine Randolph would be very good on a quiz show.
Thank you, Mother. I'm glad there's somebody in this family who appreciates my ungoop-like qualities. If I win, I'll make 50 smacks.
50 what?
Smacks, Father. Simoleons. Dollars to the hoi polloi. There's a big article all about it on page 2 of the paper.
Page 2. I'd like to see John Kieran find page 2 of this mess. Good heavens.
What's wrong, Melvin?
Who cut this hole right smack through the middle of the sports page?
Could it have been termites, Father?
No, Randolph, it could not have been termites. Randolph, what did you cut out of here?
It was a free offer, Father.
How many times do I have to tell you, Randolph, that you can't get anything free in this world?
Well, this one said absolutely free, Father.
Let me see what you cut out.
Yeah, here.
Find your lost youth with our physical training course? Absolutely free introductory offer? Really, Randolph?
Well, it's free, isn't it?
I don't care how free it is. I don't care if they paid you to find your lost youth. If you found your lost youth, Randolph, we'd have to put you back in diapers.
Yes, Father. But how about quiz shows? They give away money on them. Free, I mean.
You earn money on those, Randolph. You have to have brains.
Well, not on some of them you don't. They just pour the shekels all over you.
Turn to page 2, Melvin. I'd like to hear more about this quiz.
That's not so easy, the condition this paper's in. Well, darned if here isn't page 2, right after page 17.
Go ahead and read it, Father.
Yes, a special junior session of the popular quiz show, Put Up or Shut Up, will be broadcast from the ballroom of the Central Hotel on Sunday evening. It features as master of ceremonies the popular quizmaster, Tom Brenneman.
Tom Brenneman? I wonder if he's from Wheeling, West Virginia.
Oh, here's our son's name, Dora. Among the contestants are Randolph Foster, 716 Elm
I
Street.
bet that is little Tom Brenneman from Wheeling, West Virginia. Bessie Brenneman's little boy.
It says on the radio page he's 6'2" and weighs 187 pounds.
I knew him when he was a youngster. He used to live next door when I visited in Wheeling, when I was a girl.
Oh, what is all this droopy conversation about anyhow? So Randolph's going to be on the quiz show. So Mother knows the MC. So what?
Well, I think it's rather interesting in view of Randolph's participation in the show.
You answer it, Randolph. I don't want anybody to know I'm home so early from a date.
I can't answer it. I'm wearing diapers.
Oh, nobody gets any cooperation around here. Hello? Who? Ruth? Oh, well, I'm not really home. I mean, I'm home, but I have a date. Norman's outside on the porch.
The invisible man.
What? Oh, yes, Randolph's on the quiz show. He's very intelligent, you know. His teachers say he's positively abnormal. Your brother Curly's on the show, too? I'd like to see Curly beat Randolph. Why, Randolph is practically the most superior intellect in this town.
Is she talking about me?
Sure, I'll take a bet. I'll be mighty glad to take a bet. Anything you want. Name your own stakes.
I feel just like Seabiscuit.
The one whose brother loses doesn't accept a date with a boy for the entire month of August. That's rather steep, isn't it?
Wowie.
All right, I'll take it. If you think I don't think my brother is smarter than your brother, Curly, any day. Okay, it's all set. Goodbye.
Oh, I didn't mean for you to bet your very life's blood on me.
It was a rather daring thing to do, dear.
Oh, what have I done? Oh, Randolph, you've got to be Curly. You've absolutely got to. Well, my whole future depends upon it.
Randolph, I look at you with new respect. If Judy's willing to bet a month's dates on you, you must be a genius.
Mother, you said you knew Tom Brenneman, didn't you?
Yes, when he was about 4.
Well, then, you've got to ask him for dinner the night before the show.
But, Judy, I haven't seen him since he was 4.
Mother, you wouldn't let the son of Bessie Brenneman, who used to live next door when you visited in Wheeling, West Virginia, come to town without having him to dinner, would you?
I might.
But Mother, after all, right next door.
I'm beginning to think Judy's confidence in Randolph is a complete phony.
Yes, Father. I'm beginning to doubt whether I'm really a genius at all.
All right, Randolph, let's keep going. What's the highest denomination in American currency?
A $10,000 bill.
It says here a $100,000 bill.
It's wrong. Ask Father. Father, did you ever have a $100,000 bill?
It will surprise you to know I never did, Randolph.
All right, we'll try another one. How many of the 7 drawers were beards?
Judy, as a special favor to me, could you stop asking him questions for, let's say, 5 minutes?
But, Father, you know how vitally important it is that he beats Curly on the quiz show.
Would I laugh the braces off my teeth if I won? And then Norman didn't ask you for a date all month anyhow.
Randolph, please. Father, I'm merely getting Randolph in condition for Mr. Brenneman's guest appearance at dinner at our house.
I'm in the pink of condition now. If you keep this up, Judy, I'm going to be overtrained.
To what do the following terms refer? Stratus, cirrus, nimbus, and cumulus.
Cloud formations.
Before that quiz show is over, I expect to find my ears in the shape of question marks.
Oh, Melvin, dear.
Yes, Dora?
Did you turn the light off in the garage?
For the love of heaven, can't anybody in this house use a declarative sentence?
You'd like another piece of chicken, wouldn't you, Mr. Brenneman?
Oh, you're right. You're absolutely correct.
Oh, it was wonderful of you to come to dinner here. I think it was terribly democratic and everything of you.
She's just handing out the goo, Mr. Brenneman. She really wants something from you.
Well, sir, you know, just yesterday a lady wanted something from me, my landlady.
I don't mind quiz shows. It's the jokes I can't stand.
I'll never forget what a cute little boy you were, Mr. Brenneman.
Don't you think Mr. Brenneman is intelligent-looking, Mother? I mean, he has the most intelligent-looking nose.
Well, you know, just yesterday a lady said to me, you have the most intelligent-looking nose, and I said, intelligent-looking noses run in our family. You get it?
I get it.
Oh, Mr. Brenneman, you were just the coochie-coochiest baby.
Mother, what an embarrassing thing to say to Mr. Brenneman.
Well, I don't see anything embarrassing about being a baby. After all, we were all babies once, in the early part of our lives, generally.
Doesn't Randolph have the most intellectual sense of humor, Mr. Brenneman?
Well, you know, just yesterday I met a lady who told me she'd been married 3 times, eloping across the border from California each time. And I said, what a sense of humor, Arizona.
You'll have some more candied sweet potatoes, won't you, Mr. Brenneman?
Oh, that's correct. That's absolutely correct.
Oh, I wish I were a mind reader or something, so I would know what questions you were going to ask on the quiz show.
Well, you know, just yesterday I met a mind reader, and I said, why are you able to read minds? And she said, I can read minds because I'm really a ghost. And I said, I think I'll put you on a ghost-to-ghost hookup.
Well, you certainly were a darling little boy.
Did you know the dorsal fin sprouted on all mammals during the Paleozoic age?
Randolph, what has that got to do with the conversation?
He's right. He's absolutely correct.
Oh, isn't that fascinating? Mr. Brenneman, would you tell us frankly, as an old friend of the family, is that the sort of thing you'll ask on the quiz show?
Well...
Judy, why don't you come right out and say, Mr. Brenneman, exactly what are the questions you're going to ask on the quiz show?
Oh, Father, how can you be so brazen?
Well, I was gradually choking on your subtlety.
Father, please. Mr. Brenneman, is there some mild hint you could give us as to the sort of questions you'll ask?
Well, the contestants can pick what subject they want to be questioned on, such as sports or popular songs or American history.
American history.
I don't know why you don't ask Mr. Brenneman to let me be one of the judges.
Oh, Father, you couldn't possibly.
Why not?
Well, because if Randolph should win, it might look like we were trying to influence dear Mr. Brenneman. Who said speak for yourself, John Alden?
Priscilla.
Who made the first American flag?
Betsy Ross.
Who saved John Smith?
Pocahontas.
What year did the Pilgrims land on Plymouth Rock?
Look, Judy, you've asked me that 3 times, but they only landed once, 1620.
Do you suppose there'd be any way to ease it around town that the Pilgrims landed in 1820 or something, so that it would mix up anybody else who happened to get that question?
No.
Well, let's continue.
Judy, can't we stop for a while?
But you've got to win. Just think how terrible it would be if you let Curly show you off.
Just think how much worse it would be if you went without dates for a month.
Now, look, Randolph, you've chosen American history for your classification, and you've simply just got to know some. Is there anything I can tell you that would come in handy?
Not a thing.
Randolph, this is serious. Go ahead and ask me some quiz questions.
Okay, what's a Tilia Perodon?
I don't know.
You're right. You're absolutely right. Here's another one. What's a 4-letter English word ending in E-N-Y?
A 4-letter word ending in E-N-Y. Any, Benny, Kenny, Denny, Annie,
Stop the
Benny,
questions! Stop the questions! I can stand just so much and no more. Randolph, come here this instant.
Yes, Father.
Tell me quick before I go bats. What is a 4-letter word ending in E-N-Y?
Deny, Father.
Oh, for the love of heaven.
Well, questions are flying thick and fast in the Foster household. But it's the answers that count, and we'll see how Randolph stacks up in just a moment. You know, when I was a little kid about Randolph's age, my gang used to get in trouble because we always used to do a little extra artwork on any billboard picture of a pretty girl. We used to take a big black pencil and block out several of her front teeth. We did it because it changed a beautiful picture completely, made it pretty funny looking. And the point I'm making is this. Your teeth are a great deal more important to your appearance than you may realize. Dull, dingy teeth can ruin your smile. And when your smile is gone, ladies and gentlemen, you're gone. So don't take a chance on making a sad or funny picture of yourself. Brighten up your teeth. Brighten up your smile with Pepsodent tooth powder. Make your teeth flash brilliantly and make them attract attention. You can do it with Pepsodent tooth powder because Pepsodent contains composite metaphosphate, the wonderful, safe polishing agent that helps make your teeth twice as bright. Yes, twice as bright, my friends, as the average of all other leading brands by actual scientific test. No other tooth powder in the world contains composite metaphosphate. So go down to your corner store now, tonight, and ask for Pepsodent tooth powder, the kind that has the power to make your teeth twice as bright. Well, let's see. Randolph is to be a contestant on the quiz show, Put Up or Shut Up, and Judy has bet her rival, Ruth, that Randolph will beat her brother, Curly. The stakes are a month without dates, and Judy is beginning to get jumpy. Randolph and Curly, however, have a conference all their own.
Hello, Curly.
Hello, Randolph.
You look terrible, Curly.
So do you, Randolph.
I've been going through more than human capacity will bear.
So have I.
My sister Judy's been coaching me for the quiz show.
My sister Ruth, she's been doing ditto.
I'm worn to a frazzle.
Me too.
I don't care much anymore whether my sister Judy has dates all next month or not.
I don't care much whether my sister Ruth is ditto.
Let's cross them up.
Answer the questions on the quiz show wrong, you mean?
Yeah, let's both be so terrible neither of us wins.
Okay. That would be more fun than winning anyhow.
That's correct. That's absolutely correct.
All right. It's a deal. Shake.
Shake. Of course, if I wanted to beat you, Curly, I could.
Why, if I wanted to, I could beat you without straining my cranium.
Listen, I could beat you without twitching my cerebellum. I'm going to.
You will not. You think I'd let my sister Ruth down?
I'll fight for my sister Judy to the finish.
I'll battle to the death for my sister Ruth.
And if I can help it, my sister Judy isn't going without a date for one single night as long as she lives.
It was very intelligent of you to think of coming here to the library, Randolph, where we could really get some facts on American history.
I'll be able to do some serious cramming here.
Gee, it's awfully sweet of you to work like this for me, Randolph.
For you and the $50. And to get even with a certain little squirt I know.
Well, I don't care why you're doing it. I just think it's too utterly angelic of you. Randolph, do you see who's over there across the room?
Curly. Curly and his sister Ruth.
I bet she came here to bone him up for the quiz show. The cheat?
Sneaking into the library, huh? To cram. The sneaks.
It's absolutely unfair. Randolph, you've got to be Curly now. You've just got to, in spite of their underhanded methods.
Just rely on me, Judy. Just rely on me.
Here's some seats, Father.
Yes, Judy. Go on in, Dora.
Thank you, dear.
Oh, I'm so excited and nervous I can hardly inhale, Father. Gee, I hope Randolph backstage isn't as nervous and excited as I am nervous and excited sitting here in the audience.
He's probably as exhausted as I am exhausted. Thank heaven it's here at last. I couldn't have stood another day of preparation.
Oh, look, Father. Over there on the other side of the ballroom.
Huh?
There's Norman.
I'm overwhelmed.
And there's Ruthie and her family down front. I'll kind of give her a little smile. A little stinky smile. Poor girl. Little does she know that I'm going to have Norman exclusively during the whole month of August. I hope.
Oh, I once saw a horse race for a stake of $100,000, but it was nothing to this.
Look how goop-eyed she is looking at Norman. Oh, Mother, it was so wonderful of you to have visited next door to Tom Brenneman's mother in Wheeling, West Virginia.
You know, when I did that, I was probably thinking of this moment.
They're beginning.
Oh, there's Randolph sitting on the stage. Cross your fingers, Mother. Cross your fingers, Father.
My brain's been crossed for a week now.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Put Up or Shut Up show. Now, just relax in your chairs. We're about ready to begin.
Oh, I'll perish. I'll positively perish if I have to spend the whole month of August
Judy,
alone
they're
at
starting.
Duck America, here comes the quizziest quiz show on the air. Put Up or Shut Up. And here is the quizmaster himself, Tom Brenneman.
Thank you, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. As you know, each contestant chooses a subject. If he wins, he gets $50. If he loses, the duck gives him the bird, just like this. That's right. And now, our first contestant. Will you step right up here, young man? What is your name?
Curly Whiteman,
And how old are you, young fellow?
11 years old.
Well, isn't that fine? You know, just yesterday, I heard about an 11-year-old boy who went around putting tacks on chairs. It was one of his standing jokes. And now, Curly, put up or shut up. What subject would you like to take tonight? We have famous quotations, classical music, women, American history.
I'll take American history. Hey!
What did that young man over there say?
Nothing. Hey.
Oh, I see. Well, to turn from the farm back to the show, the first question I'm going to ask my first contestant is, who said, speak for yourself, John Alden?
Priscilla,
You're right. You're absolutely right. And now, put up or shut up?
I put up.
That's fine. What year did the Pilgrims land on Plymouth Rock?
Oh, Mother, I'm dying. I'm too positively dying. Randolph was going to take American history, and now Curly's taking it. And Randolph will have to take another subject.
I'm sure he'll do well in any subject.
But, Mama, all he knows is American history.
I'm listening to Curly.
Oh, I'm too positively dying. What am I going to do all the month of August? Oh, nausea. This is too positively drear.
That was great, Curly. Yes, sir. You have a good chance to win $50. And now, the next contestant. What is your name, young man?
Well, you know me. You were just over my...
What did you say your name was?
Randolph Foster.
And your age?
10, I told you that.
And now, what subject do you choose, young fellow? We have famous quotations, sports, women, fruits, vegetables.
I'll take woman.
Mm-hmm. Women. Now, Mr. Foster, are you sure you want women? Maybe something else is more suitable. Sports, for instance.
I'll take women.
I can't blame you. All right, now, is it true that 50% of all parents in the state of Pennsylvania are women?
Certainly.
You're right. You're absolutely correct.
Any droop would know that.
And now a chance to make 20 cents. And, of course, the grand bonus prize of the evening. $50 to the top contestant. Will you put up or shut up?
I'll put up.
All right. Now, according to social authorities, is it proper that a lady keep a gentleman waiting?
That isn't proper, but it's being done. Now, my sister Judy, she has a system. She's always ready for an 8 o'clock date by 7 o'clock. But she keeps the guy waiting downstairs till 9, just to make it look like she isn't too anxious.
Thank you very much. Just last night I had to wait. Sir, I had to wait. 200-pound girl sat on my lap. Boy, was she awake. And now, will you put up or shut up?
I'll put up if you'll shut up.
What is the art of feminine makeup called?
Cosmetology.
That's correct. Absolutely correct.
And is that an art? Sometimes when my sister Judy takes her makeup off, I don't know who she is.
Well, you see, I was going to tell a joke here, but I don't think I will. You now have 40 cents, Randolph. Will you put up or shut up?
Put up, naturally.
Oh, such confidence. Now, the next question is, on what finger does a woman wear an engagement ring?
Third finger, left hand.
That's
Of course, my sister Judy, every time she gets engaged, she does it with fraternity pins. She hasn't been engaged much lately, but once she had 4 fraternity pins at the same time. So I guess that evens things up.
I was going to tell a joke here, too, but I guess I won't. You now have 80 cents. Will you put up or shut up?
Put up.
All right. What is a misogynist?
A misogynist is a woman hater.
That's
Norman, my sister Judy's boyfriend, he didn't used to be a misogynist a few weeks ago, but lately he's been massaging all over the place.
What was that?
That was my sister Judy.
Congratulations, Randolph. It was just wonderful. You're winning the $50 like that.
Well, let me shake your hand, son. Boy, if I'd only learned about women from you.
Gee, thanks, everybody, but it was nothing.
Randall, I never was so humiliated in all my life.
What's the matter with you, Judy?
You didn't have to tell 30 million people about my whole private life, did you?
Oh, I beat Curly, didn't I? That's what you wanted.
Well, it's not like something going around the town. This has gone around the world.
Look over there. There's your friend Ruth blubbering her way out of the place.
Where? Jeepers, I bet she's burned up. Oh, but I wonder what Norman thinks now.
He'll think you're mysterious. Just ask me. I know all about women.
Oh, be quiet, everybody. Here comes Norman. Little does he know that he's going to be mine for the whole month of August.
Hello, Judy. Hello, Mr. and Mrs. Foster.
Hello, Norman.
Gosh, congratulations, Randolph.
Thanks, Norman.
Gee, Norman, I think it was just luscious of you to come and talk to us like this. After the plug Randolph gave you on the show and all.
Oh, that's all right, Judy. I just came over to say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Yeah, Judy, I'm leaving on a camping trip, and I'll be gone the whole month of August.
The whole month of August.
You're
Oh.
correct. Absolutely correct.
What'll I do now?
Well, I know what I'll do. I'll start my own quiz show, and my first question will be, quote, what keeps me from going nuts, unquote.
No, sir, I'm afraid there's no question about the trouble that Judy gets into. And as long as we're in the quiz spirit, may I ask you a few questions, ladies
Just a
and
minute
gentlemen?
there, Goodwin. You're talking about questions and quizzes. That's my department. May
Yeah.
I ask you a few questions?
Why, you bet, Tom. Go right ahead.
What's your name, young man?
Bill Goodwin?
And your age?
Too old.
Too old. Now, your next question, Bill. There's been a lot of talk about how to win friends, how to be the life of the party. Can you tell us how to keep friends? How to be sure you'll be invited to parties?
Well, that's my department, Tom. And the answer is keep your breath fresh and sweet. Take care that you won't offend in a close-up. Guard against those heartbreaking whispering campaigns that may start behind your back.
Very good, Bill. Excellent. Now, can you tell us how to guard against whispering campaigns?
Yes, just do this. Before you go out where you'll meet people, gargle a few seconds with a mouthful of Pepsodent antiseptic. It makes your mouth sweet in a split second. Makes your breath fresh as spring. Pepsodent antiseptic gives you 3 times the safe breath protection because it lasts 3 times as long. You see, even when it's mixed with 2 parts of water, it's still an effective antiseptic. So you can save money and still have your breath insurance if you'll just go out tonight and get a bottle of Pepsodent antiseptic. Keep it handy where you can use it at least twice a day.
That's correct. Absolutely correct.
Good night, Judy.
Good night.
You know, we all had a perfectly luscious time.
You did? Well, I'm not doing anything next Tuesday night.
You're not? Well, we'll all be a buzzing of your doorbell then, Judy.
Holy drooly.
You all have a date with Judy again next Tuesday night. A Date with Judy with Ann Gillis, Margaret Brayton, Paul McGrath, and Dix Davis is written by Eileen Leslie and Jerry Schwartz. Music is conducted by Wilbur Hatch. You're all fixed up, so don't forget next Tuesday night, will you? You have a date with Judy. This is Bill Goodwin speaking for Pepsodent, and this is the Red Network of the National Broadcasting Company.
All right, that concludes the first episode of the night. I hope you all liked it, and take your 5-minute break, and we'll be back then. Yeah. And that concludes our 5-minute break. I hope you liked the music, and let's get to episode 2 of the night. Yay! Woo!
Pepsodent invite you to have a date with Judy. Well, it's a summer evening on the Foster front porch. Judy and her friend Mitzi are there, and Judy's brother Randolph is kibitzing.
This is the third night in a consecutive hunk I don't have a date.
Business is bad with me, too, Judy.
I wonder what's become of men.
It isn't what's become of them I care about. It's what's going to become of me. And what's going to become of my new evening gown if I never wear it.
It'll just probably stay in the cupboard until one day it falls off the hook. Dead.
Be quiet, Randolph. You know, this is the longest lull without dates I've ever known since, well, for a couple of weeks anyway.
I know what, Judy. Let's have a party.
Oh, Mitzi, that's a brilliant idea. It'll put us right back on our feet socially.
Well, anyhow, it'll give you another crack at the boys.
You know, the trouble with most parties is other girls.
You too positively said it. It seems like every time I give a party, some other girl gets, well, practically engaged.
If you could only have a party without other girls. Just with boys.
Mitzi, why couldn't we?
Why couldn't we what?
Have a party and just invite boys. Millions of them. We'd have all the men to ourselves because the only girls who'd be there would be us.
Are you sure you want Mitzi to come?
Well, when'll we have it?
Tomorrow night, what do you say?
It's a deal, Judy.
Okay, we'd better start inviting boys right now. Isn't this a scrumptious idea?
Yes, except, do you think the boys will want to come to the party when they find out we're the only girls there?
We won't tell them.
But won't it be kind of a letdown when they find it out at the party?
We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Come on, Mitzi, we're going over to your house now and call the boys.
Why can't we do it here at your house, Judy?
Because my family gets nervous when I use the phone 25 or 30 times in a row.
So does mine.
Oh, but Judy doesn't have to live with your family, Mitzi.
Come on, Mitzi. If you let us call the boys from your house, I'll have the party at my house.
Sounds fair enough. Hi, Mother.
Hello, Randolph. Where have you been?
Out on the porch with Judy and Mitzi. Aren't girls weird?
Mm-hmm.
Babble, 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 back and forth. No. Hey, Mother, you're not even listening to me.
I'm very busy right now, Randolph.
What you doing?
I'm counting the people I've invited to my party tomorrow night.
Your party tomorrow night?
Well, certainly. Who else would be having a party tomorrow night?
Well, you never can tell.
You see, I thought it would be a good chance to have a very snooty hen party while your father's out of town.
Yeah, but under the circumstances, I think you'd better forget
Randolph, please, go over to Curly's house or someplace. I haven't time to chat.
Chatting might be very profitable at this moment, Mother. On account I can hand you some chat that'll make your hair stand on end.
Now, that's enough. For a boy your age, you talk too much, Randolph.
Tomorrow night about this time, will you please remind me of that remark?
Now, let me see. Mrs. Smith makes 11. Mrs. Goodman makes 12. Mrs. Randolph, aren't you gone yet?
That settles it. I will now stand by and let nature take its course.
There, I guess that does it. Well, Randolph, what are you going to do tomorrow night?
Me? I'm just going to sit back and enjoy a double feature.
Well, it looks like fireworks coming up in the Foster home. You've heard the cause. In a minute, you'll hear the effect. Here's another case of plain cause and effect. I know a girl just like Judy who's had unusually good luck lately. Cause, Pepsodent. Effect, sparkling teeth and a brighter smile. No wonder her luck's changed. Pepsodent removed that dingy coating from her teeth, and now they're sparkling clean, and she has a dazzling smile. So many attentions come her way, the girls say she's lucky, but the men say she's a knockout. Tomorrow may be your lucky day. If you're ready to attract good luck with a dazzling Pepsodent smile, go to your drug counter tonight and say, Pepsodent toothpaste, please. And remember, government orders, take an empty tube with you, any size from any product, to exchange for a new tube of Pepsodent. And now, let's get back to that date we have with Judy.
Come here a minute, Judy. I want you to help me with something for the party tonight.
The party? Then you know about it.
Well, what do you mean, know about it? I'm up to my ears in work for it, aren't I?
Oh, but I hate to see you working so hard. I was
Hold the
going to do
stepladder,
that.
will you, dear? I want to get down the sterling silver.
The sterling silver. Gee, Mother, you shouldn't go to all that trouble. The everyday silver would be perfectly good enough.
Don't be silly. They'd all go home and talk about me if I just had everyday silver on the table.
Oh, I don't think they would. I don't think they'd even notice it.
My dear, they'd notice it if there was a dead fly on the inside of a chandelier 2 inches from the ceiling.
Oh, you won't need to worry about them hanging from chandeliers or anything. They'll probably behave pretty well, most of the time.
Well, I certainly hope so. Well, look, I haven't time to gossip, Judy. I haven't even decided on a menu yet.
Well, I was thinking about hot dogs and baked beans and maybe a bunch of dill pickles.
Why, I never heard of anything so ridiculous in all my life. Hot dogs and Judy, I'm going to have pâté de foie gras and caviar canapes, if I can get the caviar. And I might have a guinea hen.
A guinea hen? Oh, Mother, how too utterly luxurious.
Let's see, I suppose cocktails are out.
Cocktails? Oh, Mother, don't be silly. Root beer's good enough.
Judy. If you don't stop making idiotic suggestions, root beer. I want this to be one of the nicest parties ever held in this house.
Well, that's the way I feel about it, but I didn't know you felt that way.
We'll have fruit punch and serve it with the hors d'oeuvre.
Mother, you're just about the most understanding person I ever heard of in my whole life.
Well, if I wouldn't understand how to have a nice party after all these years, You know, this party's going to cost about $10 or $12.
$10 or $12? Oh, Mother, that's awfully generous. And since you're so terribly sweet, I'm going to put up 50 cents of my own money.
Oh, Judy, you don't need to spend your money on this party.
Why not, Mother? I'm glad to.
Oh, Judy, sometimes I underestimate you. When you come right down to it, you're about the sweetest, most unselfish girl I know. Mr. Gordon, this is Mrs. Foster. I'd like to order some salted nuts for a party this evening.
Hello, Mr. Spiegel. This is Judy Foster. Could you send over some cigars? No, they're not for Father. They're for a party. Is this the record shop? Well, this is Judy Foster, and I'd like to buy a few records for a party I'm having tonight. Have you got Conk Me on the Bonk with a coconut? Oh, gee, that's wonderful.
Is this Mr. Mayworm? Well, this is Mrs. Foster. Mr. Mayworm, I'm having a party tonight, and I wondered if you could come and play your lovely harp for the ladies. You can? Oh, Mr. Mayworm, that's wonderful. The selections? Well, suppose you play something sort of... well, yes, that'll be nice, but couldn't you play... Well, all right, but you see, that's lovely, but you see... No, Mr. Mayworm, I haven't any more suggestions. Goodbye.
Hello, Randolph. Where's everybody?
Well, Judy's upstairs dunking her loveliness in the bathtub. Mother's just finished dunking hers. And me, I'm just hanging around. This is going to be quite a night.
Gee, I guess somebody's coming already.
Doggone if it isn't a man with a harp.
How do you do, young man? Now, if you just hold the door open, I bring my harp in.
Before you go to all that trouble, maybe it'd be a good idea to find out if you've got the right address.
This is the Foster residence, isn't it?
It is, where anything can happen.
Young man, is this the largest door you have in this house? It's going to be very difficult to get my harp through that.
Maybe you could sort of fly in through a window.
No liberty, young man. Kindly send for your mother.
Mother! Mother!
I did not say shout.
Shouting is the only thing that gets results in this house.
Did you call me, Randolph?
You see?
Oh, goodness, Mr. Mayworm, you're here with your harp. Come right in.
He can come in, but the question is, can his harp?
This is the smallest door I've ever encountered.
Well, don't break your harp trying to get it through.
No, that would be catastrophic.
Randolph, suppose you run around to the backyard and see if Mr. Mayworm's harp can get through that way.
Don't worry, I'll open wide them pearly gates.
Come along, little fella.
Oh, hello, Mitzi. What are you doing here, waiting for Judy?
Yes, Mrs. Foster. I think I'll go upstairs and hurry her along.
Oh, somebody's here already. Heavens, and I haven't even got the punch ready.
Hello, Dora. Surprise, I'm home.
Melvin! Well, for goodness sake, I didn't expect you till the first of the week.
Well, I have another surprise for you, dear. This is Mrs. Miller.
How do you do? How do you do?
Yes, I stopped off with the Millers in Cleveland to talk a little business, and I talked Mrs. Miller into spending a few days with us as our house guest.
Well, how lovely. Well, isn't that grand?
I knew you'd be tickled to death. You know, I've talked to Dora so much about you, Mrs. Miller. You and your charming husband. Haven't I, Dora?
Oh, you certainly have. Well, goodness, and to think I'm having a party this evening. And
A party?
A hen party. Just paying off some obligations, you know, Mrs. Miller. I see.
Well, that's fine, then. Well, Dora, I suppose Mrs. Miller will want to go upstairs and change after the ride in,
Oh, of course. I'll show you to the guest room.
Oh, I have news. Mr. Mayworm can't get his harp through the back door either. Oh, hello, Father.
Oh, hello, son. Mrs. Miller, I want you to meet my boy, Randolph.
How do you do?
How do you do? I wonder if Mr. Mayworm should try this side door.
I've told Randolph so much about you, Mrs. Miller. Haven't I, Randolph?
Oh, yes. I should say so. He's been drooling all over the place about you, Mrs. Miller.
Yes, he certainly has been, Mrs. Miller. He's hardly talked about anything else for months. Randolph, suppose you show Mrs. Miller up to the guest room. I'd like to speak to your father a minute.
Well, sure. Right this way, Mrs. Miller.
Thank you.
Follow me, Mrs. Miller.
For goodness sake, Melvin, who is she?
Dora, she's the stiffest, most straight-laced, tight-mouthed woman in the world.
That's obvious, but I still ask, who is she?
She's W.L. Miller's wife.
And who is W.L. Miller?
Just one of the biggest smoke tongue distributors in this country, that's all.
Cheapers.
Dora, if I can get this account, I won't have to give my business a thought for a year. I certainly hope this is going to be a nice, polite party. I hope you haven't asked any of your usual friends.
Just what do you mean by that?
No, don't get excited, dear. It's just that I want everything to go smoothly. Now, you've no idea how much influence Mrs. Miller has on W.L. She's got to go home and tell W.L. that she wants him to give me his account.
Well, I'll do everything I can, dear.
The guest is in the guest room taking off her duds.
Thanks, Randolph. Dora, I hope you're not playing cards tonight.
Why not?
Well, nothing, except when some of your friends sit down to play bridge, it's no longer a polite social game. They play for blood.
Does the Red Cross know about that?
Really, Melvin, I don't send my friends to charm school before I invite them to a party. Besides, it's going to be a very dignified affair. There's no reason why it shouldn't be just the thing to please her.
I can think of a few reasons.
What's that, Randolph?
Sort of a quick glance at my watch makes me realize that it's too late to bring up a thing.
Well, if you mean about Mr. Mayworm's harp, have him try the side door.
Well, now, look, Dora, there's no sense in me hanging around. I'm going to leave Mrs. Miller entirely to you.
Well, what are you going to do, Melvin?
Well, I think I'll go down and look in at the office. You certainly don't want any men around the house tonight.
I should say not.
I should say not.
Yes. Well, I'll just run along then. Have a good time tonight, Dora. And more important, see that Mrs. Miller has a good time.
Oh, don't worry about her.
My, Mrs. Miller certainly came as a surprise. Oh, well, I'm sure glad we have a nice party for her. Do you suppose everything is all set, Randolph?
Like a fuse.
Well, I guess somebody's here.
Oh, hello, Mrs. Foster.
Oh, Gerald, it's you. I guess Judy and Mitzi will be down in a minute. I hope you'll all go out someplace and don't come back till the party's over.
Till the party's over.
Hello, Gerald.
Oh, hi, Judy. Hello, Mitzi.
Hello, Gerald.
Everything looks so nice, doesn't it, children? It's been a lot of work. The flowers and the... What are those cigars doing there?
I put them there, Mother.
Cigars? Why, I never heard of such a thing. Take them away at once.
Well, it is a little daring.
Daring? It's revolting.
Well, I didn't expect they'd smoke them right now, Mother, but I thought it would be nice for them to take home and smoke them in a few years, maybe.
Judy!
And I put the pretzels and popcorn on the table, too. I stuck them in a couple of bowls.
Pretzels?
Mr. Mayworm can't get his harp through the side door either, Mother.
Oh, for the love of heaven.
Well said, Mother.
Will everybody please stop being witty and stop putting pretzels and cigars around and let me think? Randolph, tell Mr. Mayworm to bring his harp up on the porch. Since he can't get the harp in the house, the ladies will have to come outside to hear him.
The ladies, Mother?
Well, certainly. What do you think I'm having to this party, men?
No, but I am.
Judy, what are you talking about? There are 15 women coming this evening.
No, they're not. There are 15 boys coming. Aren't there, Mitzi?
Judy's right, Mrs. Foster. See, Gerald's here already, and he's a boy. Aren't you, Gerald?
Well, yes, ma'am.
Judy, do you mean to say you're having a party tonight?
Of course. What have we been doing all this work for?
For my party.
You mean a lot of women are coming tonight?
Judy Foster, why do you do these things to me?
Don't worry, Mother. I could have invited my Boy Scout troop, but I didn't.
Mrs. Foster, great news. I've just succeeded in getting my harps through the cellar door.
I'm going out of my mind.
Well, blow me down. Visitors.
I'll answer.
No, I'll go.
You better let me do it. I'm neutral.
Good evening, Mrs.
Hi, Judy.
All these boys and all these girls. My, what a coincidence.
We'll be back on that Date with Judy in just a minute. You know, there's a funny little trick that practical jokers try out once in a while. They'll stand talking to you and all the while gaze intently at your left ear. Well, you soon begin to feel uncomfortable. You wonder what's wrong. And you have that same uncomfortable feeling when someone keeps glancing away from you because he doesn't like the looks of your teeth. Dull, dingy teeth always make people look the other way. But teeth polished with Pepsodent make people look your way. For teeth with that shining Pepsodent sparkle attract attention and hold it. How about your teeth? Don't take it for granted that your teeth sparkle just because you brush them every day. Not all toothpaste can give you the same results Pepsodent does. For you see, Pepsodent contains irium, the super cleansing agent that loosens and flushes away that filmy coating you can feel with your tongue. It's this film that collects stains and hides the true luster of your teeth. Pepsodent removes it and then polishes teeth to a brilliant, shiny smoothness. So make your daily brushings pay dividends to your smile. Use Pepsodent and make teeth really sparkle. Tomorrow may be your big day, so get a tube of Pepsodent toothpaste tonight, and be sure to have an empty tube with you to exchange when you say Pepsodent toothpaste, please. And now, back to Judy.
You've met all the boys, Mrs. Miller?
I have. Gerald and Oogie and Red. And I believe this is Stinky over here.
Oh, you sledded Jojo Duran and Panty Waist Hoffman.
Oh, gracious.
Is anything wrong, Mrs. Miller?
That boy just winked at me.
What boy?
That one.
That's Oogie.
I'm surprised at him.
Well, there's just something in his eye. He's not being fresh, Mrs. Miller.
Oh, Mrs. Foster.
Yes, Mrs. Newton?
I think this is the most novel party. It takes me right back to my girlhood.
And that's quite a trip.
Randolph, please.
Hey, Judy, come over here a minute.
Okay, Gerald. Gee, I'm terribly sorry this happened.
Oh, I honestly don't get this, Judy. All us boys and all those old dames.
It's all a most terrible mess. But how was I to know Mother was having a party tonight?
Oh, I understand about your mother's party, all right. But what I'm talking about is your party. Where are the girls?
Well, there's Mitzi and me.
2 girls for 15 men?
Well, it was just an idea Mitzi and I had.
Yeah.
We thought it would work out all right, and it would if Mother didn't have a party, too.
Judy, I'm simply frantic. Mrs. Miller's just sitting there glaring. I think she's shocked to death.
But at what, Mother? My goodness, nobody's done anything.
I don't know what she thinks. I tried to explain we were having 2 parties, but I don't think she believes a word of it. Look at the way she's sitting there.
She isn't very relaxed, is she?
I just don't know what to do. If your father loses his business deal on account of us...
Do you think it would help any if I got my boys to mix with your girls?
It certainly would not. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to get everybody down in the cellar, and we'll listen to Mr. Mayworm play his harp.
In the cellar?
Well, he can't get his harp in anyplace else. So we'll just have to go down there. At least it'll get people's minds off each other. Thank you. And now, everybody,
and
let's
now
go
for
on.
my 5th rendition.
Oh, no.
I have chosen a medley of the lesser-known works of Giacomo Meyerbeer.
Well, all right. Frankly, I didn't know that Meyerbeer had any lesser-known works.
Oh, brother, here we go again.
Be quiet, Randolph. You're not supposed to be at this party anyhow.
Who is?
Gee, boys, I'm terribly sorry about this.
This is the hottest jam session I was ever to.
I wish you'd jive it up a little.
On a harp?
I'm terribly sorry. It's all part of the horrible mistake.
There are the best-looking girls at this party I ever saw.
They're part of the mistake, too.
Be quiet, Mitzi. Mr. Mayworm's glaring at us.
Well, I'm glaring at him, too.
My special favorite number is Mrs. Miller. Look, she's asleep on her double chin.
Be quiet, Gerald. She's the guest of honor.
No wonder. She's the cutest one in the whole bunch.
I'm terribly sorry, Gerald. I guess you're not having a very good time.
Oh, Judy, I'm loving every minute of it.
There goes my E string. This is too much. I can't go on. I just can't. Playing in a cellar like this, I'm not used to it. And all that whispering. No more strings, Boom.
What a pity, Mr. Mayworm. Now we won't be able to hear the end of the piece.
No, neither will I.
Well, we'll just have to go upstairs, ladies, and everybody. And Mr. Mayworm will have to play for us some other evening.
That is debatable.
Mother, come over here a minute. I want to talk to you.
As a member of the family, can I be in on this conference?
Be quiet, Randolph. Now, what is it, Judy?
Well, on account of your women are kind of old for my men, I was wondering, could you take your party in the dining room and let my party dance in the living room?
I don't care what we do anymore. Father's deal is beyond saving. Mrs. Miller's fast asleep anyhow.
Are you going to wake her up, Mother, or are you going to leave her to enjoy herself?
I'm going to wake her up. She's the guest of honor, and she's not going to get out of it this easily.
Well, come on, everybody. My gang, I mean. We're going upstairs and play conga records.
Oh, swell. That's a great idea. Come on, Judy.
And what are we ladies going to do, Mrs. Foster?
Well, we're going to play bridge. Would you all please go upstairs to the dining room? Randolph, I'm going upstairs with the others. Could you tactfully wake up Mrs. Miller?
You bet. Oh, Mrs. Miller, time to get up.
Oh, what's that?
I mean, would you like to play some bridge?
Oh, lovely music.
Oh, that's been over for 5 minutes.
It has? I was sitting here thinking so deeply I didn't realize it. Oh, what's that?
That's Conk Me on the Bonk with a coconut.
Oh, you don't say. Gay, isn't it? Oh, my word, what's that?
Oh, they started a conga upstairs. That's the house bouncing.
Good evening, Mr. Spiegel. I'd like some cigars.
Sure, Mr. Foster. The usual brand?
Yes, sir.
How come you're not at the party at your house, Mr. Foster?
Oh, that's my wife's party. She doesn't want me around.
She doesn't? That's very funny, Mr. Foster.
Yeah, what's funny about wanting to steer clear of a hen party?
A hen party? You know, I wouldn't be too sure about that.
Just what are you driving at, Spiegel?
Oh, nothing. Forget I even said anything. I wouldn't want to hurt your feelings.
Now, look, you're going to lose a good customer if you don't stop hedging and come right out with what you have to say.
Well, this is a delicate topic. But, Mr. Foster, there are men at your house tonight.
Oh, no, you're mistaken. It's strictly for women.
Well, all I know is I sent 2 boxes of cigars over to your house, and they weren't your brand.
Yeah, cigars?
And I want you to know you have my sympathy.
Why, I ought to punch you right in the nose. My wife wouldn't Spiegel, I'm going right home. If anything's happened to Mrs. Miller, I'm cooked.
Young people do make a lot of noise, don't they?
You know, Mrs. Foster, just while I'm dummy, I think I'll go into the living room and see what they're doing.
All right, Mrs. Newton, but hurry back. The last dummy we had went in the living room and never came back.
Seems most of the ladies are in the living room.
Mrs. Miller, it's your turn to play.
I bid 4 spades.
No, I'm sorry. The bidding is over. You're playing the hand.
Oh, yes. I was just listening to the music. Weird, isn't it?
Oh, I hope it isn't bothering you.
Not at all.
Well, girls, having fun?
Randolph, what are you doing in here again? Go back in the living room.
Okay.
You know, I think I'll go with him.
Just take my arm, Mrs. Miller. And, Mother, may I suggest you give up bridge entirely and play solitaire?
Well, what are they doing, Randolph?
That's a conga line.
My, isn't Mrs. Newton graceful?
I can't wait to see you in action.
Judy, what in the Sam Hill is going on in this house?
Oh, hello, Father. When did you come in?
Where's your mother? Judy, what are you doing?
The conga.
Turn that music off right away.
Oh, Father.
Mrs. Miller, has anybody seen Mrs. Melvin?
Yes.
Oh, Melvin, the most awful thing has happened. I'm so sorry.
Well, you ought to be. What are you trying to do, ruin my business? I thought you said this was going to be a dignified evening.
Well, it started out to be, but you see
Well,
that...
if no one else will turn off that music, I will.
Oh, dear. What are you stopping it for, Mr. Foster? I was just beginning to enjoy myself.
Enjoy yourself. Why, I don't get it, Mrs. Miller. I thought you'd be
Oh,
furious.
Mr. Foster, I congratulate you. Oh, dear, this is the first time in my life I've had a good time with a business acquaintance of my husband's. Most of them are so straight-laced and boring.
Really?
Oh, dear, if you knew how many harp solos and mezzo-sopranos I've listened to. And I've been to so many bridge parties, I'm numb. Oh, I tell you, it's a pleasure to find people who know how to enjoy themselves.
Oh, well, thank you.
Why don't you join our conga line, Mrs. Miller?
Oh, well, I don't know how to conga, but I bet I can still bunny hug.
Bunny hug?
Oh, Mrs. Miller, that's a wonderful idea. I think these young people would love it. I'll play the piano.
Well, I don't like to brag, but I was the bunny hug champion of Northern Ohio in 1911.
Well, I'll be a son of a gun.
Well, come on, show us how, Mrs. Miller.
Well, all right. Now, all you do is put your arms around your partner like this and let her rip. Oh, my. Remember, I'm a little rusty.
Not so as you'd notice it.
I surely never figured her for a jitterbug.
Hey, what do you say, everybody? Let's all do it. This is lots better than La Conga.
Well, this is wonderful. Well, she's having such a good time, I must cinch to get that contract. Judy,
Yes, Father.
you know you do well to take a tip from your mother. She certainly knows how to entertain.
Father, you too positively said it.
Hold on, there's more coming. Which reminds me, there's more coming from me, too. I haven't said anything yet about the Pepsodent 50 Tough toothbrush and how it does right by your teeth. But I will. It does right by tender gums, too. Doesn't scratch them. Not even when the brush is new. And the Pepsodent brush has gentle nylon bristles that feel great. They don't get soggy or flabby. They stay alive and springy. And because there are 50 tufts of those gentle nylon bristles, they do an extra swell job of cleaning teeth. It's a pleasure to use the Pepsodent brush because you don't have to break it in. It feels grand right from the start. Get a Pepsodent 50 Tough toothbrush tonight for each member of your family, and you'll get a bonus with every brush. A cash certificate worth 10 cents extra spending money.
Well, that was some party.
Wasn't it? Gee, everybody had the best time after it got started.
Well, Mrs. Miller's gone to bed.
I should think so. She was exhausted.
You know, it was the first party I didn't have to worry about the other women snagging all the men.
I can understand that.
But, Melvin, how'll we entertain Mrs. Miller tomorrow night?
Oh, Mother, that's all arranged. The gang's coming over and we're going to teach her how to conga.
Before anybody does anything, there's a job to do in the cellar.
Why, what's wrong, Randolph?
It's Mr. Mayworm. He can't get his harp out of the cellar.
Remember, you all have a date with Judy on Tuesday next. A Date with Judy with Deli Ellis and Dick Davis is written by Aline Leslie and Jerome Lawrence. Original music by Gordon Jenkins. And remember, too, for the safety of your smile, use Pepsodent twice a day. See your dentist twice a year. Larry Keating speaking. This program came to you from Hollywood. This is the National Broadcasting Company.